Hi everyone, Marcela Basta here, sharing with you today, again, a golden nugget of information that's going to help you if you're living with depression. I have to say, I was thinking about this the other day, and you actually, in what I'm teaching you, it's not if you're living just with depression. I have to explain to me in my mind what depression is. So for me, depression is any behavior, anything that you're doing that's keeping you depressed, that's keeping you down, that's keeping you stuck in life. If there's any habit or you're feeling like you're stuck in life, you don't know how to get out of your current situation, you know you want change, but you don't know how to do it. If you are feeling helpless, hopeless, sad all the time, you're feeling like you're at lost in your life. If that is how you're feeling, then the videos that I'm sharing with you are for you. You don't have to be clinically depressed in order to take advantage of what I'm sharing with you here today. It is really for anybody that is stuck in life and wants to get unstuck. It is for anybody that, of course, is suffering from depression, but it is also for everybody else that wants change in their life, but they don't know how to get it. Chances are, and what I have found, is that what I teach, actually I'm not ready to show the board yet, but what I teach helps anybody that wants to create change. I've shared it with several women that I've helped pull out of depression, but I've also shared it with people that just are a little stuck in life and they want something different and they want change and they just don't know how to go about doing it. And so these same techniques I've shared with them, and it has allowed them to kind of push through and become the people that they want to become and live the lives they want to live. So I wanted to share that with you. When I use the word depression, to me it's anything that keeps you depressed or suppressed, anything that keeps you down. It doesn't have to be clinical depression, okay? So anyways, today I'm going to share with you negative thoughts. In the prior video, I shared with you the 10 things that leads you to the pit of depression hell. And so I'm going to share with you one of the things in that, and I think is probably the driving force behind being stuck in life, being depressed, living an unhappy life, and that is negative thoughts. So what are negative thoughts? So negative thoughts are just what it is. Thoughts that are negative, right? So I think there's two forms of negative thoughts. There's negative thoughts that that keep you you don't pay attention to them. They're on automatic pilot. They're just kind of there. You say them repeatedly in your mind, and they're just kind of an automatic pilot. Those are negative thoughts. You're so dumb, I can't believe you did that. Oh my gosh, how could you have made that mistake? How stupid can you be? You're not smart, you're dumb. You're ignorant, you're stupid. These were some of the thoughts that I used to have back in the day. A lot of them were in Spanish. That was my mom's little voice in my head telling me I was, no good, and buena pa nada, which means no good for nothing. And so I would have these thoughts. So the negative thoughts are that. Two different types. The negative ones, you're no good, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're ignorant. And then the other negative thought is what can happen, which leads to panic attacks, anxiety, and it causes disorders like panic disorders, anything. I can't think of the name of the disorder where people can't leave their homes. Those come from negative thoughts. Those thoughts are, if I go outside, something's going to hurt me. If I, take a drive in the car, I'm going to get in a car accident. Those are also negative thoughts. I used to have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and I had this thing with my hands. I always had to wash my hands. If I touched a chair, I had to wash my hands. If I touched my shoes, I had to wash my hands. If I touched a dog, if I touched an animal, if I touched a doorknob and I thought it was dirty, I'd have to go wash my hands. I don't think I shared that in the first video, but I also suffer from OCD. So what I found with that too was that those were the thoughts in my head that were controlling my outer life. So those thoughts were, don't touch that. Someone touched that and it's dirty now. You better go wash your hands. You're gonna die if you don't wash your hands. You're gonna have chemicals. Oh, my biggest thing too were chemicals. Oh God, I couldn't touch a chemical, a cleaning agent, nothing. None of that stuff. So my thoughts were, there's germs on there and you're gonna die. You're not gonna be able to be around for your children. Negative thoughts. Okay, that's a negative thought. So 2 types of negative thoughts: your self-talk and how you talk to yourself, and then there's the negative thoughts of the impending doom, I guess you can call it. So today I'm going to talk about both of those. Okay, so that's what they sound like. That's what they are. But let me tell you what those thoughts cause. Those thoughts cause OCD, like I just said, panic attacks and anxiety. Those cause fear, and they control your life. When I used to have panic attacks, it was always, I remember I would have panic attacks at work. That's where it first started. And those panic attacks started with my thought of, I hate this job, I hate how they treat me, I hate doing this, I hate doing that. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be stuck here forever. I have no future. I didn't finish college. I mean, all these thoughts would pile up in my head and I would be constantly thinking about it. And then before I knew it, I would start to pant, and then I would feel like I'm gonna pass out. And then I would breathe really fast because now I'm panicking because I'm gonna pass out and I can't feel the blood. I can't hear anything. It's all dark. And then the ambulance would come. But those type of panic attacks, any panic attack comes from your thoughts. Anxiety, same thing. If you're suffering from anxiety, you're having repetitive thoughts or worries of something. Okay. How do they get there? It comes from our childhood. I know I keep harping on that and I go back. Unfortunately, in order to live your future, you do have to go back and heal your past. So as we're growing up, we're living life, right? We are actually, the way I see children and newborns, they are born perfect. They don't have, I think babies only have 3 fears: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noise. I think is the only 2 fears. The fear of falling because they fret, and the fear of loud noise because they fret. Okay, those are the only 2 fears that humans are actually born with. The rest of the stuff is all given to us by our parents, our aunts, our uncles, our grandparents, our siblings, our teachers, people around us. Okay, those are shoved into our subconscious mind that way, and we learn it from our childhood. But the one thing, another part of that, we learn it from our childhood, but we also interpret things in our childhood. So here's my moment of where I just want to give you everything, but I can't, so I kind of have to slow down. So as children grow up, and as we grew up, we went through situations, and we went through emotional events. The events, they resolved themselves, but the emotions, they ended up staying. Okay, that's what builds up in our subconscious mind. But in that situation, or that emotional situation, we interpreted something to be probably what it's not. So for instance, if a child, say you have 2 children, right? You have an older child and a younger child, and so your attention to the younger child is necessary. I mean, the baby, say for instance, it can't survive without your help. Okay, well, with this baby, you also have, say, maybe a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old. The 5-year-old is not interpreting you taking care of that baby and giving that baby all the attention. It's not interpreting it as, oh, that baby needs all the attention and it needs my mommy's love. That 5-year-old is interpreting you paying more attention to that baby as, my mommy doesn't love me no more. that thing took over. They interpret it as, I'm not good enough. She's not paying attention to me anymore. Those interpretations unfortunately continue through our adolescence, and we interpret situations to be something that they're not, and that starts to implement or imprint in your head the negative thoughts that you're going to continue to have in your adulthood until you pay attention to them and you change them. That's just human beings. There's nothing that we could do to change that. We can't go back and change the past. But knowing where it comes from, for me, oh God, I know for me, once I know where it came from, I know I have the power to fix it. I know that I could change it. With negative thoughts, you can change it. They're not there forever. Even though they're on automatic pilot and they're stuck there and they're stuck on automatic pilot and you don't even pay attention half the time to the things you're telling yourself. They're still there, but you could reprogram that automatic pilot. I have to share with you this report that I had learned some time back. They had done a research actually, and the research, they followed a 2-year-old around with one of those clickers, and they found that out of 432 comments that were given to the child or words that were said to the child, only 32 were positive words. The rest were negative words. So no wonder we are the way we are. It's not intentional. Our parents, everyone around us, they did the best they could with what they had. I don't go around blaming my parents, blaming my mom, blaming, my teachers, or I feel like that's all they knew. That's probably how they were raised, and that's all they knew. But if you're intentional, then you could change that pattern in your own family. I've changed that pattern in my family. I don't go around telling my children, like my mom did when I was a kid, that I'm, an idiot, no good. She would call me horrible names, which I can't say here because I might be shut down on Facebook or on YouTube's. But so I would hear her voices. I would hear her words, not her voice. I would hear her words in my head, and I would begin to beat myself up. So as you're going through the day, this is what my suggestion is for you. I'm going to give you a couple of things. Actually, I'm going to give you 4 things you can do to, I forgot I had the whiteboard behind me. 4 things you can do to reprogram your negative thoughts. And that's ultimately what has to be done here, is reprogramming the negative thoughts. Really simple, but it is difficult to do because you have to stay committed. You have to do it every day for 30 days. To me, this is the fastest transformation, is changing the negative thoughts, because if you do it every single day for 30 days, you're going to change it. You're going to create that new pathway in your brain that thinks positive. Thoughts are habits. Negative thoughts are just habits that we've created over the years, and they're easily broken. So I want to share that with you. I hope that this helps, and I hope that you start taking action and doing what I'm going to share with you right now. So reprogramming your thoughts. So number 1, start becoming aware of your thoughts. Become aware of the thoughts that you're having in your head. I had a client, and I had told her that her thoughts were controlling her. And she says, I don't have bad thoughts. I said, you have negative thoughts. She goes, I don't have negative thoughts. I'm a happy person. And so I said, okay. So I gave her a challenge. I said, for 2 days, I want you to listen and to pay attention to the words you use, how you talk to yourself, the thoughts that you have in your head. When something's going on, pay attention to what you're saying. And she came back to me 2 days later and was absolutely horrified. She was in tears. She said, I can't believe how I talk to myself. I don't even talk to my animals that way. So pay attention. So the first step is to become aware of your thoughts. Pay attention to what you're saying. Pay attention to how you're talking to yourself. Instead of, if you do something wrong, do you say, oh my God, you're so stupid? Or do you say, you know what, it's an accident, move on. Listen to those. When I was back before I went through my transformation, I was in that depressive state. my thoughts were, you're dumb, you're a horrible mother, you're a horrible wife, you're no good for nothing, you can't do anything right. Look at you, you're all you're doing is wasting your life away sleeping. I mean, I bullied myself. I bullied myself almost to death. Okay, so become aware. So become aware of how you talk to yourself. Become aware. I would say for like 2 days, pay attention to what you're saying to yourself. Write it down if you have to, and then read it and pay attention and realize that you're in control of those thoughts and that you could change it. But having that realization that, you know what, yeah, I do talk bad to myself, it's going to help you change. So the next step is, when you have a thought, stop the thought. So if right away you're going to start to critique yourself in your head, oh, look at you, look at those pants don't fit you, you're fat now. Stop it. Stop the thought. You know what? They're a little tight, but that's okay. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to fit into them soon. Let me put them away, find something else. Whatever it is, whatever thought that you're having, stop the thought and change the thought. So either change it to, so if you're having a thought, like for me, when I started healing the OCD, my first thought would be, oh my God, go wash your hands. You touch a dog, that's disgusting. You're gonna get cooties on your hands. I wouldn't use the word cooties, but you know, you're gonna die from touching that dog, right? And I would stop the thought and tell myself, you know what? It's okay. He's clean. It's just an animal. Or touching doorknobs, or my biggest thing I hated touching were shoes. I would touch a shoe, or would touch my feet, or touch someone's shoe or feet, or my kids, and I would have the thought of, oh my God, that's disgusting. I have something on my hand. I literally would walk like this and hold my hand like this and walk around, not touch something until I washed my hand. So the thought there was, if you don't wash your hand, it's disgusting. You're gonna die from whatever you just touched. So my thought, I would stop the thought and I would think, you know what? It's just a shoe. It's not gonna kill me. It's just a shoe. It's not gonna kill me. Yeah, go wash your hand when you get a chance. Don't touch your face. Don't not take care of yourself because of the thought. Does that make sense? I just confused myself because I started realizing there are some times you gotta wash your hands. Don't get me wrong. But it wasn't obsessive. I would also be obsessive in making sure my front door was locked at night. I would go and I would lock my front door, and then I would close it and I'd go lay down and I'd get up and I'd have to go check my front door, make sure I locked the front door, all 3 doors, it didn't open. That was obsessive. Every time I would have the thought of go, I would tell myself, no, you're fine. We're gonna be fine. The front door is locked. I locked it twice already. I'm gonna be fine. And I had to change the thought. Okay, so I hope that helps. A little confused there. The other one is change a thought to an opposite thought. So I would have a thought of, you're stupid, Marcella, you're dumb, and you're an idiot. Those were the thoughts in my head. So when I would have those thoughts, I would change it to the opposite. And the opposite would be, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm funny, I would look in the mirror and I would see ugly. So then I had to change it. I'm beautiful. So it's changing the negative thought to the opposite, or changing the negative thought, stopping the negative thought and talking to yourself and saying, no, I'm fine. I'm going to be okay. It's not going to kill me. It's not, walking outside isn't going to kill me. I'm going to be fine. Okay. Number 3, what I like, and my most favorite part of what I teach people is sticky note therapy. Yes, it's sticky note therapy. So what I started doing when I started having to change my thoughts and changing and reprogramming myself, my confidence, by the way, this stuff also is working on your confidence, your self-esteem, and your self-love. So you're actually killing several birds with one stone by doing all of this. Anyways, so what I started doing is I would get sticky notes and I would put them in my bathroom mirror. Where do you spend your first morning? In the morning, you spend the first few minutes in bed. So I would had sticky notes on the side of my bed, on the wall. I am smart, I am intelligent, I am beautiful, I am courageous, I am strong, I am powerful, and then the second part of those two sticky notes is the I deserves, because you go through life thinking you don't deserve things. You don't think of it appear. You think of it in your subconscious mind. Subconsciously, if you don't have something, it's because subconsciously you feel like you don't deserve it. So I even was at a point where I felt like I didn't deserve a peaceful home. I would pick fights with my husband. When things were going too nice in our house, or too quiet, or too loving, or too peaceful, I would sabotage it. I would start picking a fight. I would, you didn't pick up your clothes, or whatever it was, I would start a fight because subconsciously I felt like I didn't deserve to be loved. I didn't deserve to be happy. I didn't deserve a peaceful home. I grew up in a chaotic home. There was chaos in my house every single day. We had social services at our house several times a month. So, and not to mention police officers because of domestic violence. So I was raised in this chaotic environment. I start to try to produce it in my adulthood. And so I had to, that goes back, and I got to just stop there. That goes back to when I was younger, I interpreted as I didn't deserve to have a peaceful home. I interpreted I didn't deserve to be loved. I interpreted, I don't deserve a peaceful home. I don't deserve to be happy. That was the biggest thing. So anyways, so where was I? So chaotic home. Okay, so the sticky note therapy. So it's reprogramming your subconscious mind, but also reprogramming the thoughts. And so side of the bed, sticky notes. I am smart. I am courageous. I had to teach myself how to talk to myself the right way. Okay. And then I deserve love. I deserve peace. I deserve happiness. I deserve a peaceful home. I deserve to be loved. I deserve happiness was the biggest thing. And then I would put sticky notes on my bathroom mirror. So I would be brushing my teeth. I deserve love. I deserve happiness. I am strong. I am powerful. I am courageous. I am strong. Okay. So I would do that in the bathroom. I would do that on the bathroom mirror, on my side of my wall, because I'm a side sleeper. So I would look, on my side of my bed. And I even put it, I know this is kind of weird, but I would put it in front of me. There was a wall in front. The toilet is here. The wall is here. I put sticky notes on that wall. So, I don't take magazines into the bathroom. I did sticky note therapies on my wall. So, so sticky note therapy, wherever you want to put it. I had a client, she put sticky note therapies all the way down her hallway. And she was able to put it at her desk, in front of her desk. So wherever you want to do the I ams and I deserves, those two are the most important. That the I am is probably the most important two words in the human vocabulary, because whatever you put after that is the truth. So if you say I am stupid, you're going to feel it. I am smart, you're going to feel it. I am dumb, you're going to feel it. I am intelligent, you're going to feel it. So pay attention to what you're telling yourself. And the last one is affirmation writing. The same I am and I deserves. Your brain understands and absorbs and changes faster when you write things down. It's scientific. You can Google that. There's writing it. It even releases endorphins and chemicals in your brain, and it allows your brain to absorb it better. I think they did research, and they took someone that wrote something and they took someone that typed something, and they found that the person that wrote something whatever this research was, when they wrote it out, parts of their brain was fired up that needed to be fired up for memory, whereas the people that type things, their brain didn't fire up where it needed to fire up. So write it out, the affirmations. I am strong. I am powerful. I am intelligent. I am beautiful. I am perfect just the way I am. I am good enough just the way I am. And then the I deserves. I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be peaceful. I deserve a peaceful home. I deserve to be successful. I deserve anything you feel that is negative going on in your head, write it down as the I ams and I deserves. So I hope that helps. Actually, I left out one more thing. You could also do a CD of affirmations. The CD of affirmations, I didn't put that down here, but the CD of affirmations, you could do that here with the affirmations writing. When I started in real estate, I would listen to these affirmation CDs. for being a real estate agent, and they were powerful. I didn't do this back when I was in the pit of hell or depression. I wrote it. I wrote it twice a day, in the morning and at night, with my gratitude journal. I would write it I ams and I deserves at night and in the morning time. But these affirmation CDs, when I became a realtor, I started listening to these CDs of, it would say like, I'm a strong closer. I attract buyers that are qualified and ready to buy homes today. Stuff like that, okay? And so I listen to those in my car all the time. I listen to them in my house. I listen to them wherever I could listen to them. I would listen to those CDs, and for me, I know that it is what made me the strong realtor that I was, and the successful realtor that I was. For me, I think it built what I needed, the confidence I needed to be able to be successful in what I was doing. So I would also suggest a CD of affirmations. I actually sell CD. I haven't sold or offered them in a long time, but I have a CD of affirmations, of just general ones. I am strong. I am beautiful. That I could offer to you if that's something that you're interested in. Anyways, that's what I have. I gotta slow down. I don't know how long I've been recording here now, so I can't tell you right now. But I know I've shared a lot. So I hope I didn't overwhelm you. If you have any questions, leave me a message in the blog or on YouTube or on Facebook. Leave me a message. Email me. And I'd love to share it with people here on a blog, and email you back and give you some information and some insight and even some direction. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, a happy life is a choice, your choice. Take care.